Well, good morning, Pacific
Vietnam.
Outside fans. Yeah, good morning. It's Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Thank you to all those who served and are currently serving in the armed forces. Gentlemen, how's it going this morning?
It's rolling, man. Like I always say, it's always good to wake up still breathing.
Yeah. We have a pretty special show tonight, or today. Sorry, tonight. I'm used to saying Tuesday nights on tonight. We're gonna bring in here our guest, one of our guests. We have a second guest possibly coming in. This is Mac. Mac is a friend of Quig's. How's it going this morning, Mac?
I'm doing well. Thank you for allowing me to come on the podcast today.
Yeah, no problem.
We're so big time. It's a special occasion when we actually get somebody to agree to come on.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a special show, kind of off the walls like we've done before for the holiday. Since it's Memorial Day, it's gonna be a lot of memories on baseball games. But the big thing we want to talk about first, let me get this added here. It's a special, unfortunate event happened on Thursday. Lost probably one of the best actors out there, and this is a clip from from his baseball movie Field of Dreams. Ray Liotta. He was only 67, passed away Thursday, filming a movie. To me, this was a big thing because Liotta was a stud of a actor. So,
and from everything that I could read up about him or anything like that, like nobody really had a bad thing to say about the guy.
Yeah.
And this build it, he will come.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who
is it? It's my dad.
Yeah. If you've never seen this movie, he plays Shoeless Joe Jackson. He's also been in The Goodfellas, which I got crap for earlier because I've never seen Goodfellas.
How can you not see Goodfellas? It's literally one of the top 10 movies, top 5 movies of all time. It's like behind The Godfather.
Because I forgot that it ever existed.
How can you forget that? Jesus Christ.
Listen. I've seen Wild Hogs. I mean, yeah.
Oh, because that stands up to good.
If that doesn't say the most it can about your taste in movies, you've seen Wild Hogs and not Goodfellas. Listen, come on, man.
What game were you saying that he voiced the character in?
Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Vice City, the good one.
Also played George Jung's dad in Blow, another phenomenally underrated movie. Also, Team Johnny Depp, I think we can all probably safely say here.
Yeah, nobody likes Amber Turd.
My dog stepped on a bee.
I have to go pee. Anyways.
Do I got to answer that?
What? I said I have to go pee.
Do I need to answer these questions?
Yeah.
I pledged the money. I pledged it all. Yes, I did it. I did, in fact, donate it. No, you pledged it. Yes, I pledged all of it. Jury, I pledged all of it. All 7 million.
I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to object my own question, so...
Come on, Matt, get in on this.
Oh man,
no, he's playing it. He's playing it smart.
I need to ease into it. Just.
You're not quite indoctrinated yet.
No, you'll learn eventually.
Especially before this hour is over, you will be throwing some things out there.
Okay. Well, I am used to it because I have seen a couple weeks of the podcast. So.
You really need to enjoy the ones where we go off the walls like this one. This is going to be epic. So, but yeah, rest in peace to Ray Liotta. It's going to be weird not seeing him play some villains in movies. And speaking of villains, Tim,
Yankees?
John, we got another villain on our hands, but facing another suspension over some of the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Tommy Pham, Jock Peterson deal. Honestly, the dumbest thing besides, Trevor Bauer beating women. Tommy Pham got suspended 3 games for slapping Jock Peterson over fantasy football.
Hey, there was money involved, and there was so much money involved, and you don't mess with Tommy Pham's money that he eventually just quits the league like 3 weeks later.
This is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. We'll go to our guest here, Mac. What's your opinion? What do you think of Tommy Pham and the slap heard around the world right now?
I mean, honestly, to me, it seems very childish, and the fact that people are getting in arguments over group chats and group texts, it's hard for me to process that, to be perfectly honest. I think there's more. I don't know. I'm not a big group chat person, group text person myself. I always try to stay out of those. But it's something that in sports in general, people are going to trash talk and make fun of, and sometimes it gets a little too personal, but for the most part, you move on, and that's just part of the game. So just to hear about this, it was very, it's like, really, come on. Like that's my initial thoughts.
Well, can you imagine if they got a hold of our group chat?
If they got a hold of our group chat, we would have to worry about a few more things then.
Yeah, we'd be slapped a lot. We'll go to John here. John, let's hear let's get your take on this. I'm calling it a slap around the world. I'm calling it a slap around the world.
Two observations I'd point out. The first of which being that I think Jock Peterson comes out looking exceedingly good. He had the red receipts. He read them off. He even apologized for making a very, very benign joke about the Padres being a not very good team at the point last year, right? So I don't know why he owes anybody an apology. He got slapped for what is worst case scenario, a questionable fantasy method of running his team. So I mean, there's
what was the whole thing? It was like the guy was listed as out, but within
it was they had two different links, had two different ways of running their IRs versus the bench. It was stupid.
Jeff Passan, credit to him for reporting this part of it, said Tommy Pham slapped Jock Peterson across the head and was suspended for 3 games because lingering resentment from a rule regarding IR designation in their fantasy football
resentment.
league.
Yeah, that's a power phrase.
But I'm also going to take a moment to try to make a bigger point that this is just like the snowflakeification of our culture in general, right? If Tommy Pham is going to physically assault a guy because he made a joke about a baseball team playing poorly in jest, and we're questioning who's in the wrong here, which we aren't, and most people aren't, to be fair, at this point in time.
No, I'm pretty sure everybody's Tommy Pham's an idiot at this point.
Well, yeah, it's just ridiculous, man. It's get over yourself, dude. You're okay. Guys will be guys, dudes will be dudes. Okay, we trash talk a little bit. That's what we do, constantly, right? So take a freaking joke, man. It was a very benign GIF he posted. Wasn't even that funny to begin with. It was just kind of stupid. But I mean, it was the most mild trash talk I can imagine. Professional athlete in a group text with another professional athlete on an opposing team saying. So I don't know. The whole thing's stupid. Tommy Pham is stupid. Jock Peterson, I don't know. I like Jock Peterson more now than I did before.
even though he's on the San Francisco Giants with Gabe Kapler.
Yeah, we can touch on that. I'd be happy to go with that one. Anytime you bring it down the plate, Trace.
I was holding off on this one. I figured it would be brought up, so I wasn't going to say anything. But glad we could peel that layer of the onion back, and let's see where this rolls, boys.
So I'll keep this as well.
Did you hear this one, Mac?
Remind me. I did hear a Gabe.
You'll be reminded.
Okay, so.
Take it, Trace.
We're gonna talk on it because this is this ties into Jock Peterson. It's topical. So Gabe Kapler is refusing to come out for the national anthem now because he does not like the direction that the country is going. So my question is, did he ever come out for a game for the Phillies? Because that was the worst freaking manager I've ever seen for them.
One of my baseball stories. Oh wait, no, that's not a Gabe story. Nope. Okay, I'm getting my that's I'm thinking of the wrong game and wrong incompetent manager.
I'm just saying.
I think Girardi made a good point, and this is probably as politically correct of a take as you can have, is that if you're a good manager, which to be fair, it's questionable for both of those guys at this point in time, but your role is to make your players' lives easier and have less distractions. And all he's doing at this point, he's not enacting any change. Nobody in Washington cares what Gabe Kapler has to say, period. End of discussion. But who does care what Gabe Kapler has to say is all the media who are going to spend all their time questioning all his players about what their coach is doing. And they have to take a stand one way or another if they come out and make some politically correct answer to the whole situation. So it's doing nothing. I don't think anybody could care any less what Gabe Kapler's position is on any of these issues that he's just takes a cursory comment on and probably has very, very little knowledge of any of the policies that go into it or any of the background or what it would take to actually make any of these changes that he all of a sudden wants to spearhead himself single-handedly. So it's just very egotistical, and it's a distraction for his players, and nothing good can come of it.
Yeah, no, Tim, I'll put it to you because you haven't had a chance to really.
No, I'm good. I just love sitting here riffing and stirring the pot. Mac looked like he was about to say something, so I'll defer and just continue to stir this pot with a wooden spoon.
No, I agree with Johnny. It really these kind of protests don't add anything. It doesn't help anything. Doesn't change anything. Like you said, it's only a distraction. That's what the world of politics is for, to worry about issues. Things like that. Sports is supposed to be a place where we escape. We can get away from those kind of things, and it's just gonna ultimately divide people more, which we need less of that going on right now. And sports is one place, one arena that we can all come together and we can trash talk on the other teams and we can have fun. But that's all.
Yeah. Okay, so
I don't think we need to get in the whole shut up and dribble mentality type thing, right? I mean, he can have an opinion. He's open to it, and he can do what he wants to. But I think if you're trying to do what's best for your team as a manager, all he's accomplishing from a baseball perspective is making more distractions.
And all I'm going to say is, if he wants to not show up as for the national anthem, maybe he should show up for a game or two as a manager. And should worry more about that.
I mean, they've got a better record than Philly right
now. Okay, well. Let's be honest.
I mean, Gabe Kapler, given credit that his years in Philly were basically his introduction to being a manager, and that's what
since 2011 they've had a better record than the Phillies. So let's be honest here.
I mean, I think the only team who hasn't had a better record than the Phillies are the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. Well, when we get into it, I mean, we're going to talk about possibly some bloopers and blunders, and we could just tie the entire Cincinnati Reds as a blooper and a blunder for baseball. So let me ask, who had the better slap, Will Smith or Tommy Pham?
Ooh. Well, the Will Smith one being completely staged, you will not convince me that was not staged. From the reaction to the camera shots to the cutting back and forth, it was 100% staged. So that doesn't even count in my book. The better slap goes to Tommy Pham because it was actually real and emotionally driven.
Well, I have the video here. Let me see.
And not an actor pretending.
There's no situation there's a video I'll be goaded into saying anything nice about Will Smith after that childish behavior. I mean,
but just keep his wife's name out of your bleeping mouth.
Yeah.
So here.
Yeah,
here is the video of the slap. So people have it. It's hard to tell. I mean,
it's quick.
He just walks up to him, boom.
And one more time.
Look at that right hand. Look at that right hand. I'll give him credit on that one. That was a pretty good slap.
Not as good as the right hand from the minor league guy.
So I know there was a lot of money in the fantasy league, but the suspension for Tommy Pham based on what he's making would cost him $111,000 for 3 games of paychecks.
Tommy Pham also screwed himself out of some money because apparently he felt disrespected in the offseason. And then, I guess he went on the Reds to prove himself. And I think, is he still hitting 200? Let me look that up.
I mean, if we want to talk about guys hitting badly,
I don't think he's doing.
Don't get me started on that one. We've had that debate already.
Wow, we're talking physical hitting, not squaring up a round bat with a round ball. He's hitting 233 this year, so really proving himself there. I guess he proves himself behind the power of his open hand slap. I bet you Cincinnati fans are wishing he made that kind of contact during the game when it mattered.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing as a good contact as a Cincinnati Red unless your name's Pete Rose.
Let's not get into that. that disgrace of a human being.
I wish Dan was around. He would be giving me his comments. Yeah. All right, so we'll go into the big topic. Why we're here for today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about our baseball memories.
Yeah.
And this can be anything from games you witnessed in person, your favorite games you've seen on TV, some of your favorite moments. It doesn't matter what it is.
So
I'll start this one off. Go ahead, Tim.
I've been meaning to tell this story on this platform for a while. I'm going to go a little bit unsafe for work here. I know we try to keep the swearing and the suggestive things down a little bit, but to fully embrace this story, I've got to go a little over the edge.
Well, we do, you don't, but anyways.
Well, we all know outside of the show, I can use the F word in all 7 parts of the English language. So, thank you, George Carlin.
25 cents for every time you say it in the swear jar.
Well, good thing I don't say it on the show. So this was probably 2004, 2005 range. It was opening day in Philadelphia. It was the first game of the Washington Nationals. They had just moved from Montreal and became the Nationals franchise. I'm sitting up in the 400 level where, as Philly fans, if you guys remember the Coast Guard and the Wolf Pack and the Coal Mine, like those kind of group of fans sit the old reminiscence of the 700 level from the bet. And my dad, my brother, and I are opening day. We're sitting up there and, we're enjoying ourselves. Second inning rolls around and guys behind us are, hitting the sauce a little hard. And all of a sudden, coming up out of the tunnel is a grown man in full-on Scooby-Doo costume. Man is fully dressed as Scooby-Doo with 2 Yingling pounders in his hands, going, "Fuck yeah, guys!" And his buddies are up top, like, "Let's go, yeah!" They're all just plastered. And I think they had a drinking contest to see who could pound the most Yingling pounders during the game, because by about the 7th inning, Scooby-Doo's tail came between his legs, and he started pelvic thrusting and poking people with his tail. And I thought it was hysterical. Well, the woman attendant did not find it so funny, and he went up to her and says, "Oh, you want some too, don't you? Like Ride 'em Cowboy." And she goes, "Okay, I guess this is how we're going to go with it." She goes back down the tunnel. Next person to come up out of the tunnel is an armed Philadelphia police officer.
Wow.
Scooby-Doo, tail between his legs, still grabbing it, going, "Ride 'em Cowboy." Officer comes up, pokes him on the shoulder, goes, "Sir, do we have a problem?" He goes, turns around and goes, "Oh, you want some too, don't you, bitch?" Scooby-Doo gets taken by the back of the neck, thrown onto the concrete floor, handcuffed, and arrested, being walked out of Citizens Bank Park while the entire right field section we were in starts chanting, "Free Scooby, free Scooby."
Sounds about right.
And that's one of my favorite Philadelphia stories to tell outside of the Eagles game, where I saw a dude projectile vomit cheesesteak over the next 4 rows in front of him. But
those
Scooby-Doo,
very Philadelphia things.
Scooby-Doo getting arrested in opening day 2004, 2005. I can't remember the exact year, but Scooby-Doo being arrested by a Philadelphia police officer on opening day is just something that will never leave my mind.
Raise your hand if you've ever thrown up at a Philadelphia Phillies game.
No? Oh, let's hear this one.
John knows this one.
Yeah. But you can tell it.
We went to a game.
Why don't you tell us what you remember, and then John can fill in the gaps.
Oh no, I know. I remember the whole thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like. Yeah,
it wasn't
that kind of like.
I wasn't drunk. So what happened was like John and I had what was it, 13-game package or whatever for the Phillies.
Sunday package, yeah.
So we went to a game, or we were at a game. It was an early game, like in the season, and it was hot. It was just absolutely blistering hot. And my brother went with somebody, and they were parked and saved us a parking spot. So we pull in there, and we took some beer with us. We were drinking, just chilling out, having a good time. And this girl and her husband, boyfriend, whatever he was, like she rolls in this like Lexus or whatever Porsche, and we're like, okay.
Cadillac. It was Cadillac.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was.
Man, we really took
We're still Facebook friends. We're still Facebook friends.
Yeah, so she
oh my god.
Yeah, so she was telling us like she had this box suite or whatever, and she brought liquor with her, and it was hot vodka, vodka, and hot soda. And I was like, yeah, I'll do a couple shots, whatever. Mixed, blah 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 blah. One thing led to another. We were sitting in the upper deck with the sun beating on us, and I went like this, and it was in my hand, and I had to get up, and I had to go to the bathroom, and just like all over the toilet. So yeah, threw up at a Phillies game because I decided I was going to drink hot vodka.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Mac, what do you got? I know you've got one of the most regrettable decisions I've ever missed out on.
Yeah. My stories are not. They're more related to the actual games. I don't have any good stories like that.
Just wait until September. You'll have one.
Okay. Yeah. No, but I've had the privilege to have been at a couple really memorable Phillies games during their run back when they were won the World Series and got to go back to back. And I will start with, I guess, Tim's biggest regret is very last minute. I got tickets to game 1 of the NLDS against the Cincinnati Reds. Very last minute. I got the tickets very cheap by comparison. I think I remember them being like $60 a ticket when every other ticket was like $100 a ticket. In the top row, of course, in the 400 level, at Citizens Bank Park. So I asked him to go. You were out at IUP at the time, and I was like, "Can you make it work?" But I understand your decision.
Stupid English paper I had to write. I just had to write it.
And Tim, how far along in life have you gone because of that English paper or that English class?
Absolutely nowhere.
I mean, you're sitting here on a podcast talking.
So it hasn't had a profound impact on your life, huh?
The paper about steroids in baseball has not gotten me anywhere. But
I ended up
even if I had, in my own defense, though, outside of that, even if I had made it, that was what, like a Friday, Saturday night, or no, it was the middle of the week. It was like a Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
So I would have had to drive the 3 hours home, ride the 2 hours down to Philly with you, take the 2 hours back, the 3 hour drive back to Indiana. So it would have been. Hell.
He's just trying to talk himself into why it was a good decision that he was responsible, but I don't think he'll be able to.
No.
So
my brother never lets me live it down.
I ended up going to the game with a friend from work, and that then turned into the game where Roy Halladay threw his second no-hitter of that season. So just to
and I
about
watched
the game
it on
itself.
TV at a friend's place in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Kicking myself in the ass the entire time.
I'm sorry, Tim, but
it's not your fault. It's my stupid English teacher's fault.
But just about the game itself, we kind of knew that it was going on as the innings progressed, and I'm fairly certain Halladay had 1 or 2 hits in that game as well, and was, I think, a walk away from a perfect game. I think that's
he walked Votto.
Yep. I think Scott Rowland was playing on the Reds, and he got some cheers and boos and all that stuff.
Scott Rowland.
Yeah, I think it was mostly boos. But I'll never forget the final out when I can't remember who the batter was, but
Brandon
he swung.
Phillips.
It was like a swinging bunt, and the bat went out in front of him, and the ball hit, and I'm like, the crowd got silent. And for that split second, we thought, oh, there goes the perfect game, or there goes the no-hitter. And of course, Ruiz and Howard made an awesome play to just close it out. So probably my top baseball memory for sure. And to throw in one little extra one in there, the year prior, I was actually at the NLCS against the Dodgers when Jimmy Rollins had a walk-off double.
Right. I forgot about that one.
And I got to go with my Dodgers. Yeah. And I got to go with my dad to that one. So that was a pretty special game that I got to go to. So
I like how you and your dad actually have a memory of the game, and where me and my dad have a memory of a fictional character in a costume getting drunk and being arrested.
Well, so 2 things here. Well, since we're on the topic of no hitters, and I'll let John talk about our no hitter experience. But It was on this day in 2010. Doc threw a perfect game against the Marlins, so there's that.
Yep.
R.I.P. Doc.
I remember.
But you were talking about a no-hitter, and actually John and I got to watch probably the most unexpected no-hitter happen in Phillies history. The last time they got no-hit before they got no-hit by the Mets against the Dodgers.
Josh Beckett, Josh Beckett, Sunday afternoon.
He wasn't washed up that day.
I mean, what's there to say about it? We saw our team get no hit, which sucked, but I mean, it was kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
What was the lineup that day? Like, was it like?
I don't remember. I couldn't tell you.
Let me look that up here. That's going to be because that wasn't a great time in Phillies era, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a rough game because like Beckett really wasn't pitching that great. I know he was going up against AJ Burnett.
Oh God, yeah.
And Burnett was not really pitching great either. It just happened that like the Phillies bats I don't know what it was. They just refused to take the bats off their shoulders.
Oh, so Ryan Sandberg. I've got a good Ryan Sandberg story. Then I think it's back around to me. But leading up to the game, the Dodgers were 2 games under 500, and the last place Ryan Sandberg led Phillies were 21-25.
Yeah, it was a 6-0 game.
It would be his 5th to last road outing because he retired like right after that.
Yeah, so
where is the lineup?
Just reading this here. I mean, Beckett actually had a pretty decent year that year. He finished 6-6 with a 2.88 ERA.
Here's a good one. I'm just looking at this article here. The pitchers to throw no hitter in the final MLB season, including one of the best pitching names I have ever seen in my life: Cannonball Titcomb, Bobo Holloman, Ed Head, and now Josh Beckett. If you're on a list with Cannonball Titcomb and Ed Head, I mean, I'm immature, I know, but that's Cannonball Titcomb.
Yeah,
that's a great old time name.
But it's a cool experience in general. If you've never seen a no hitter in person, whether it's against your team or not, it's a cool experience because like you can feel it happening. Like I don't know, I can't speak for John, but I know for like myself. You're sitting there, and just the way the game was going, they got through 3 innings. You're like, okay, it's the way it is. And then you get to the 5th inning, and you're like, okay, it's starting to feel like there's a no hitter coming. And then when you get to like the 7th and 8th inning, it's reality sitting in. Like, yeah, this is probably going to happen. Like they've gone through the lineup now 2-3 times. And they just can't hit the ball. So. The 9th inning, to me, the 9th inning was the worst because like it's the bottom of the 9th and they're down 6-0. So you're like, well, they can't score runs. I mean, at least get a hit. And we actually walked down during the 9th or top of the 9th inning to the lower level because my dad and my brother were down there, and we stood there and watched. And it was just like, I think Utley struck out or Rollins struck out, and you're just like, yep, that's it. If they can't get the hit, it's not going to happen. And then. It ended, and I mean that whole place went nuts. Like they were mad because it happened, but then you're also just like, oh, you got to witness history. Like not everybody gets to see a no hitter if you're a baseball fan in the major leagues.
So I found the lineup for that day, and this is a very pathetic lineup. And feel free to react as I read this. But leading off, playing center field, Ben Revere, Jimmy Rollins 2nd, Chase Utley 3rd, Ryan Howard 4. Okay, pretty standard. Now we get bad. Marlon Byrd in right field, Dominic Brown in left, Will Nieves catching, Cesar Hernandez at 3rd, AJ Burnett pitched, Jeff Manship pitched, and Tony Gwynn pitch hit.
Yeah. And I mean, him and I've had a lot of experiences. We got to see Papple blow quite a bunch.
You mean Papple douche?
Yeah.
We got to see that one opening day or opening series against the Mets or Marlins. The Phillies won like 20-4 or something like that.
Oh yeah, the
we
night where
that game.
I was at that game.
No, John
I was at that game. We went with Odd, our one buddy from our past lives.
And I mean, I think the more memorable thing for you happened after the game, but I'm not going to bring that up. When I decided to stay in the hotel room to try to get some sleep, and you and our other friend decided to go out and experience.
We met an airline pilot at one of the bars who was flying out the next morning, and he was like tuned up at like midnight. I'm like, all right. Yeah, I'm flying out American in Philadelphia. I'm like, all right, it's midnight and you can't even talk real well. So, all right, glad I'm not flying with you.
Real safe on that plane.
I mean, I have another good one though. So I went to another Phillies game. Went to a Cinco de Mayo game with a kid that John and I went to school with, Mr. Cole Wolf. I don't know if you remember that one, John.
Oh yeah.
And actually, the game. So I have friends from racing online and all that stuff. He's from Canada, and he came down and did like an American tour from like Cincinnati, Reds, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia because he was a Blue Jays fan, so they were playing in all those games. It just so happened it was a Cinco de Mayo game, and it was Dollar Dog Night.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Oh God, no!
They need to bring back that.
It was not fantastic. So let me tell you,
you've got a bad history with hot dogs and ball games, don't you?
Yeah, I do. So we're sitting there, and like I bought a couple because like I'm not like that hungry. And next thing you know, my buddy who's from Canada is like, "Oh, I want to see how many hot dogs you can eat." I'm like, "No." He just bought me like 8 hot dogs in a row there. And I was like, "You're a dick." I did not eat all 8. I'll tell you that right now. I maybe ate like
you
3.
Wasteful bastard.
I mean, they ate the rest of them up, but I was just like, dude, that's so gross.
And
then the best part about that, the reason why I remember that game is not just because of that. That's like where we were sitting on the third baseline, lower level, and you can actually see us in one of the videos. Oh, I wish I could find it. Like we were sitting there with our backs, and right in front of us were these dudes that were dressed in sombreros, and they were dressed for the occasion of Cinco de Mayo, and that's how we ended up getting on TV because they had like fake mustaches on. I mean, they went all out.
So you're saying they would be canceled today if they were shown on TV?
It was, yeah, they wouldn't be canceled today. But like, I mean, you could see I had my Cliff Lee jersey on, so like you could see my Cliff Lee jersey, like the back of it.
Cliff Lee number 34, Cliff Lee number 33.
33.
Oh, the second time around.
Yeah. My kid from Canada had his Blue Jay stuff on. Like it was great. So like every year it pops up for Cinco de Mayo, like, oh. You were in Philly for the Toronto Blue Jays game, and I'm just like, Cinco de Mayo, hot dogs, no.
I got one here to Mac. We'll see if you remember this one. We're down in Baltimore. I mean, and I think it's no brainer here. We're all Phillies games, so the majority of our memories are going to be Phillies games. But it was the game where the Orioles hit a franchise record 8 home runs in a game. Jeff Francoeur had to pitch, and they couldn't call the bullpen because the bullpen phone was off the hook, and they're in the dugout waving the white towel. And then Chase Utley in the next mound visit absolutely rips apart the pitching coach. Like, Mac, do you remember anything from that game besides me like heckling Cody Ashe in my field?
I just remember that I think I actually stood up and cheered for Baltimore for one of their home runs, wearing my Phillies gear.
I think that was the Chris Davis absolute moonshot.
Oh yeah, he destroyed it.
Like as soon as it hit the bat, you and I just went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it was hit the warehouse on one bounce. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
That's mostly what I remember from that day. It was a blur otherwise.
Because I remember some young Baltimore fans trying to heckle us, and we're like, "Dude, like we know we suck. Like we're losing 18 to 3. Francoeur had to pitch. I'm trying to remember if anybody was close to having a 4-homer game, or I'm pretty sure almost everybody in the lineup had a home run. I can't remember which one.
It felt like it.
I mean, I know Chris Davis had multiple. I mean, you and I, too, going, now that I think about it, down in Baltimore, because it's such an easy road trip for us, when we saw Jim Thome in his last tour, the Phillies smacked 2 home runs that game.
Yep, I do remember that one.
I mean, nothing real memorable out of that outside of the Jim Thome farewell tour.
Yeah. Didn't the Phillies end up losing that game?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
but Thome went yard twice in the now non-existent left field seats.
Yep.
I got to see a bunch of games down in Baltimore.
Stupid wall.
That were non-Phillies games though. So when my dad used to work down in Chambersburg, his boss down there had season tickets, whole 81 game package for the Orioles, and we got to pick and choose and see.
I liked Baltimore. Sorry to cut you off there, but I liked Baltimore before they put that hotel in there on Utah Street, because you used to be able to park on Utah, walk all the way down, and you would have all the street vendors there. So that's where you'd get like your massive waters, your massive Gatorades, like a $5 hat. And because Baltimore at that time allowed drinks to be brought into the stadium as long as they weren't opened. So you could go to these vendors and spend $10 and get 2 of like the half-gallon Gatorades that you can only find at like the bulk stores.
Yeah.
And you just drink that for the game and spend less money at the stadium. It was fantastic.
And now Baltimore's like Mogadishu, so.
Well, so what I was getting at was I went down for a game.
Coming hard today, John.
I got to see them. I got to see them play the Yankees a lot. I got to see them play the Red Sox. I got to see them play Tampa Bay. But I forget which game it was that they were playing against. I just remember the game because I got a bobblehead out of it. It was the Cal Ripken Jr. After he he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. He gave his Hall of Fame speech that night before the game, awesome. And then they took him around on a truck, and he was waving to the fans and stuff. And the bobblehead, it's a bobblehead of him with his streak behind him.
I know. I'm gonna have to. My brother's going to a Yankees Red Sox game in New York. He's a Yankee fan, unfortunately. So 2009 was a bad time for me. But he's going to a Yankees Red Sox game later in the year up in New York. So it should have a few good stories out of that. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I mean, I've got plenty from like when I played, but
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't switch it up a little bit just to make sure we touch on the absolute ineptitude of our Phillies right now. How bad it is, how bad it will get, if anything will change.
Nothing's.
I just have to get it off my chest.
I just bring something up.
I mean, what? I mean, they're just pathetic. They're awful. They're just.
I mean,
it's everything.
You were leading into a story there, and then you just.
I'm not leading into a story. I'm just kind of like trying to get.
You just want.
Trying to switch it up a little bit, right?
If you want to know a team that is inept, it's the Cincinnati Reds.
All right, yes, but I also haven't watched a single Reds game this year, so I can't talk on that. I can talk on the Phillies because I watch a lot of those games.
Their fans haven't watched any of their games either.
Oh yeah, because the owner came out and said, "What are you going to do? Root for another team?"
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they did beat the Chicago Cubs pretty bad the other night. So.
Oh man, the Cubs, who are also horrible.
They beat them 20-5.
Wow.
Also, lost to them 11-4, like several games before that. So it's not like.
I think we talked in one of the last 2 podcasts about. Oh, excuse me.
Wake up.
Oh, wake! Actually, I slept great last night. We talked about how bad, how important the next 2 weeks of schedule were for the Phillies, and they have done exactly what we all expected them to do, which has been anemic performance after anemic performance after blown bullpen, blown saves, this, that, everything else. So, like, are they completely out of it at this point? Is there anything they can do to change things up? Or when do they fire Girardi?
Let's let somebody else who hasn't been on the show for every single episode talk about that one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we all know our feelings about it.
We've worn it out there, Mac. Go ahead and
and
learn us something.
Bring us a new perspective.
I honestly, my honest opinion is that I think it doesn't matter what manager the Phillies install at the moment. I just think the ownership is setting up anyone for failure, or the people making the personnel decisions. And maybe Girardi has a hand in that. I honestly don't know. Unfortunately, it seems like a common thread with all of the Philly sports teams. But I just think the general managers and the ownership, they need to make better decisions. It's one thing to be able to bring all these offensive weapons, into a lineup, but you can score 10 runs a game but if you're giving up 15, it doesn't matter. You got to have solid pitching on the back end. It's Aaron Nola is not going to, Zach Wheeler, they're not going to be able to carry a team and pitch 9 innings every start. So that's my 2 cents.
So let me ask you guys this question, because he has made it known now that he will not pitch a reliever. Basically, if they pitched 3 days in a row.
He's always
no matter how many pitches they throw.
Yeah.
At what point though do you have to make that change and to say, you know what, we got to do what we got to do? Because like the other night, because of the whole I can't pitch him 3 days in a row, we could have used Sir Anthony Dominguez in that game, and instead we got stuck with Norwood, and it was another disaster. So at what point do you like put your feelings on that to the side and just say, hey, you know what, we got to do what we got to do? Because like I mean, I still think that he's not going to make. I still don't think he's going to be the Phillies manager much longer. I mean, I know I've beaten that horse to it's been crippled. I don't see it. I don't know how you can stick around, keep this guy around, making a decision like that. Like, you got to do what's best for the team.
I mean, I get early on in the season trying to save some arms, but I mean, if we're looking at a playoff berth later down the road, and if in capital letters, which is depressing to say, given that half the league's going to make the playoffs this year. If Philly has a chance, and we're in the last 2 weeks of the season, and if there's a save opportunity, we'll just say there's 14 games. If there's 10 of 14 games, and you're not putting your closer in, the important games when it matters, then I got a little bit of an issue with that. Like, you're paying the guy to get you outs. Go have your horse get you the outs. So early on, I can get it to a little extent, but if it continues later into the season, it's a no-go for me. It's a no for me, dog.
I mean, at the rate that we're going, the Cincinnati Reds are going to pass us, and then
we're not that bad.
Reds are up to 16 wins, and we're at 21.
Oh, hey, they're about to surpass their projected 21 and 140 whatever record.
I mean, let's face it. So far, if we're going to talk about overall records on how bad the Phillies are, here are the teams that are higher than them. That even we sat here, we're like, what?
Miami.
Arizona.
Ugh.
Miami is actually worse than them.
Oh, what about Oakland? Is Oakland worse than Philly? I can live with.
They're only 2 games back behind Philly. Baltimore's only a game back behind Philly.
Ugh.
The Pirates are only 2 games back behind Philly.
Do you just want to get a knife and stab me in the heart now?
So,
the Phillies have been. Oh, sorry.
No. I was gonna say so. Back on the whole Girardi thing, though, is I mean, we have one season now where we were above 500 with him, and that was last year where they went 83 and
81.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
No. What are you thinking, Mac?
Oh, and they've been very consistently mediocre for these past couple of years.
The last decade, it seems like.
I mean, yeah. I feel like they could be there if better decisions were made with personnel. Maybe, and that's half of that's on Girardi, and maybe that's the other half's on the general manager for not installing the right players, I should say.
I kind of want to branch off that too and say is more of a ineptitude, to steal a word from John, of the minor league system and developing players, because we were supposed to have Spencer Howard be a savior, and then he shipped out. Bohm, I get the sophomore slump, but Bohm was bad for the entire last year. Hoskins had a run where everybody was questioning him. It just seems like Philadelphia doesn't have a top prospect that'll just come up and just flourish.
Yeah, I mean, you could trace it back to the Amaro days where they just leveraged their farm system to the hilt, and they were the worst. And it
got
takes
nothing
a while,
back.
And it takes a while to retool that. It's not like a 3 or 5 year process. It's a decade probably to
Well, and then they also made horrible draft choices where they were just always drafting outfielders. They drafted Moniak, and then they drafted I can't even remember half the names, but they drafted Moniak thinking that he was going to be the savior, and it took him forever to come up. So they just kept drafting outfielder after outfielder after outfielder, and none of them did anything.
So they went to another team. So they go to another team then.
Yeah, that too. Can we turn the subject here to actually make us laugh for the last 15 minutes?
Well, hold on. So
I'm tired of being depressed.
I wanted to bring up though, since we still technically we're talking about baseball memories. How about, and Tim, I want it from your perspective too, and I want Mac to hear this because I'm sure he's probably heard it on some of the other podcasts before, but the hot dog eating contest.
Oh God, from the.
Yeah, so those that are new to the show and haven't watched, some of us here, 2 of us right here, me, John, we got to
here and here.
I mean, yeah, that way, whatever. We got to participate in a hot dog eating contest at the Senators for, it was I think July 4th game, because it was the same day as a regular hot dog eating contest. And Mr. Tim, who if you've ever been to a Senators game before, you got to hear his voice a lot on in a
Oh
commercial,
yeah.
in a
The
commercial.
Zembies.
We want breadsticks. Give it to us, Tim.
Breadsticks and Zembies. Breadsticks and Zembies.
Tim, give us the breadsticks.
Yeah.
We want breadsticks.
Yep, there it is.
I didn't know you were on that, Tim.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was we recorded it 3 times each at a slightly, so it was like we want breadsticks and we want breadsticks and then we want breadsticks. So that way we had about 3 people in there doing 3 different tones, so that way it sounded like a whole bunch of people were doing that. But
Tim got to do some camera work for the
not up with you guys.
Not up with us.
I was down in the well, and Mac has even got I've gotten you on the scoreboard a couple times during that run when I was doing that.
Yeah.
Yep, I do remember that.
But from my perspective, it was
gross.
Well, from my perspective, I'm sitting down in the first base dugout with a camera. So I had to focus on the game. But we all had a comm system where we could all talk to each other. And I would never shut up because I just need to talk. So
no.
Yeah, believe it. I like the sound of my own voice. What can I say? It's deep and baritone and should be calling baseball games. But as we're going through this hot dog eating contest where all of you came up with fake names, I think John had 2 hot dogs, and the guy's like, this one guy over here is just like had 2 hot dogs and he's done. Like,
just chilling, dude. Free hot dogs, man.
Yeah.
But they were ripping you. I was telling the camera guy because I forget who was going hard.
Robbie.
Yeah, he was going hard. I was like, dude, you better stand back, man. They're like, these guys are drunk. They can't stand up straight. I'm like, you might want to stand back because there might be some projectile coming your way. And I was just sitting up there making fun of you guys the entire time.
Yeah, Robbie was the one that won for us.
Robbie got a free dugout suite out of it too.
and he got more food afterwards, so that's impressive.
Oh my god!
And this pit. All right, so last 13 minutes here, we'll go into a little bit of fun here. We'll talk a little bit about baseball blunders and bloopers.
Mac, do you have your Senators tickets for this year?
No, I did not get season tickets.
Yeah, because Mac was a season ticket holder there for a while. I just wanted to see.
I had a 13 game plan a couple years ago.
There you go. All right. We're gonna specifically talk about this video first.
Yes.
Who doesn't like a good nut shot? I mean, like this is impressive.
Nuts.
Look at this. This is a great play. Look what a
throw.
What a throw. He got him out. Ooh, that hurt.
Wait, what happened there? Bounce, catch.
Oh.
Right in the testicles.
Hey, you gotta make the tag.
Man. That's a
great throw.
Look at the throw. Let's be honest. The throw itself is like awesome. On one bounce, throws it dead on. Like
better than a freaking. I can't even think of his name right now because what a beautiful tag. Quinn, better throw than Quinn in a game saving situation. He had that one, and then he continues to throw the next 2 up the first base line.
Let me see if I can find this video because I'm sure you guys will remember it. Andrew Knapp last year.
Oh God, anything with Andrew Knapp.
What was it, last year? 2 years ago?
I think he just got picked up by somebody because the Pirates let him go, and then I think
didn't he go play in Japan or Korea or something like that?
No, I think that's
Darren Ruff did. I knew that, but I thought Knapp did too. I could be wrong. I don't know. I know it was Ruff for sure. He actually played well over there, I think. Yeah, but I think Ruff got brought back over.
Yeah, he's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here.
Philly.
He was in Pittsburgh, and then I know Pittsburgh.
I think there's an image of it. Andrew Knapp took a shot right to the groin, and there's a picture of like the ball like right when it hit him, and it was like the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, was that the one like he was just sitting there catcher prone and it hit him square?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just Google Andrew Knapp nut shot.
I did the same thing and it doesn't pop up. I just thought of that though after we saw that video, but I have other videos here that we're gonna play that are kind of entertaining. We're talking about the Phillies. My favorite Philly of all time. I think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Make sure I get the right video here because I have so many of them. Oh, yep, it's this one.
I got it.
Okay, you got it.
Vinny Vasquez pitching.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Do you want the link?
Yes, I do.
You're right. Vinny Vasquez should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. I agree.
No, but the video I'm going to show after first, I want to show this one first. But the video I was going to show was of my favorite player of all time, Roman Quinn. I mean, I think he should be he's going to go down as the greatest outfielder in the history of baseball.
Here you go.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. Let me see. Is this a video or is this a picture?
It's a video.
Okay. Well, let me.
Thank you, Reddit.
All right.
He fouls it off and
share screen. Okay.
Mike, you got any good memorable ones that you can think of off the top of your head?
Watch this video. Oh. Oh my God! Like this.
Ouch, town population, you bro.
Yeah, I mean that's something you shouldn't laugh at because like that does hurt, but it's just one of those things where
But you can laugh at it because he's okay afterwards. I mean. Oh, wait. Wasn't there a guy for the Orioles that actually had a ruptured testicle?
I mean, I thought Real Muto had like something similar happen. But anyway, so the video that I'm going to show you guys here is this one of my favorite Philly of all time.
Oh, it's Mitch Haniger.
This video here.
Oh, God. Yeah.
This is pure awesome skill here. Roman Quinn, baby. Look at Roman Quinn. Look at him. The greatest fielder in the history. And look at the throw. The throw is even better.
Now, who's better here? Are you going to take Roman Quinn or are you going to take Michael Martinez? You remember Michael Martinez?
Oh, how can we forget Michael Martinez?
Easily.
Michael Martinez.
Come on. Oh, wait. Is this it?
Here's another one here.
Oh, hold up. I found it.
Okay, well, hold on. I got another one. This one asks, "Are the Phillies okay?" Because once again, look at this blunder of a play.
And that one bounced up. Good secondary lead by Dansby. He's going to beat the wrap.
And look who lets that one go. Our other favorite center fielder, Odubel Herrera.
He's going to come around and score. Thank you.
Oh, man.
El Toro. Yeah, bring up Mickey Moniak, please. Please.
He's rehabbing.
Give us something. Give us anything.
And that one bounced up. Good secondary lead by Dansby.
We don't have to watch it again. Yeah, one time's enough.
We don't have to watch it.
Who was the catcher in that? Was that JT or was that the backup?
That was JT.
Yeah.
JT normally doesn't have bad throws like that. Here's the one that Tim's talking about from the Mariners, Mitch Haniger.
It's bad video quality,
but it works. And then we got another one. It's not really a blunder or blooper,
but fouls it right off. It's a ruptured testicle right there.
Oh,
I don't understand how he's not on the ground.
The adrenaline
of what? Can he hit in the nuts?
Oh, I felt that one.
How do you fix a ruptured testicle, like medically?
That's if you're watching, let us know.
I don't know if I want to know. Actually,
I'll text her. We're not going to get a response in time, but I'll text her.
I don't think I would want to know that. Actually,
we were talking about this earlier before the show. Guy, I guess he's Yankees prospect or whatever. Thinks he hits a home run, and bat flips.
Oh, this is bad.
And it hits off the top of the wall.
I might as well go now. And you know the best part is he's wearing number 2.
And
he's out at second.
And he's out at second. And then he gets thrown out of the game.
To end the game.
Oh, he also, I believe he got thrown out of the game too.
Well, that ended the game.
Yeah. But I saw something that he got thrown out of the game or whatever. It was terrible.
Up. I might have got a response here. For the she just said, "Why are you asking?" I said, "For the pod."
For the brand.
For the brand. I was gonna say I can't
Here,
remember.
I can play.
I going back off of memory and sort of a blooper. I remember a time playing baseball. I smacked a line drive so fast and hard down the third base line. I hit the third baseman square in the chest.
Oh, here we
and
go.
He just rocked back over and he had no time to react.
We'll play this for a couple minutes here. This is some errors and bloopers from April of 2022 for the season so far.
Fantastic. How many times are we going to see the Phillies?
I don't know, but
Come on.
Oh, here we go. Vladdy Jr. running it out.
That's not Vlad.
Or
you should find that play from Pittsburgh where they couldn't get the guy up between first and second and allowed to run to score, and then
that's bad. That is really bad. That's the Mariners for you guys. Here's the Angels and Astros. Let's see what this is.
I haven't answered them, but I'm not sure if it's correct to bring it up on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just not do that. Let's just let that one just go.
It's not pleasant.
Let's just let that go.
Like the ruptured testicle, just let it go.
What was? Hold on. What
the bat snapped in his hands.
Oof. Oh, geez.
Isn't this where he hurts himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Tattoos.
That's a bad way to lose out. Here, let's get rid of this advertisement. Oh,
that's right through the legs.
Yeah.
Come on, where's some bloopers? These are just stupid errors. I haven't seen a Philly one yet. Up there's Pittsburgh. Fail.
And it was pull host too.
Yeah, I hit the ball.
And short throw.
That was dumb.
Can't pick it.
Let's see here. Let's fast forward a little bit, see what we can find. Oh, we got a little bit of Yankees action here.
You know what you should play here is since the Mets are on, you should pull up the video I sent you of Terry Collins, the very not safe for work.
Oh, video. Here we go.
Oh, that's dangerous.
I was expecting to see him like flip into the water holding a hot dog or whatever. What's this throw?
Probably.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Jackie Robinson day too.
Tim Anderson. What the? Oh, off the line.
Let's see here. What do we got here?
More Indians.
Guardians.
Indians.
Oh my god! Like, how bad do you have to be that you can't make that simple throw?
I mean,
and then you got that one. Yeah.
Things happen. Oh yeah,
I love that.
That's a good place to end it on an actual good one.
Yeah.
The rest of them are kind of like, yeah, some fielding errors and stuff. I don't know.
Let's see. What are some other good ones? I've rocketed a ball down the third base line and smacked the catcher or smacked the third baseman. I almost took a pitcher's head off once. I've definitely come down the line as a first baseman to catch the ball and have somebody half my size just run into me and flop over as if I was a tree. What other good ones? I mean, I've got some very not PG ones I could share from smack talking people at first base.
Who was it that threw that really bad first pitch in the
which
game?
One? I mean, you have the 50 Cent one.
Oh, no, you're right. He wasn't. Was it like a rapper or something, I think?
Mac, do you remember that one?
It was just like last week or two. Yeah.
I remember the video. I just don't remember who it was.
Bad first pitch.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, of course. Now, after I close out of the video and stuff, or stop sharing it, there's some really cool, like, blooper ones here.
Oh, jeez.
Steve Aoki.
Yeah, that's what it was. Steve Aoki.
I got it.
Well, we're going to have to soon get off of here because...
Copy link. How much we got?
It's 11:59, so...
What happened to John? For the road. There it is.
Well, on that note, since John's having a couple issues here, yeah. We're going to call this quits for today because I got some stuff. I'm going to be doing some celebrating with some family before I go to a concert in Reading. So
I got to go grab some supplies for the cookouts tonight because I forgot to grab the most important part of my queso dip.
Okay,
All right.
Pull John out from this. So we'll end it here. We'll start with Mac. Do you have any last few? I was gonna say last few words, but I'm sure we'll have you back sometime.
No. Just thanks for letting me come on, and I hope to do it again in the future.
Yeah, it was fun. We'll go here with Quigley. Since Johnny Buckets decided that he was gonna have his stuff fail on us.
Well, at least it wasn't you this week.
Yeah, right.
Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Remember those who have served. Remember those who have made the sacrifice. Don't drink and drive. Eat good food.
That's a good one. I'm gonna end it like I always do here. We're gonna, check out our blog at BWSPORTS1.com. I'm going from the bases back to the races. Hopefully on Tuesday, we should be talking a little bit about the Indy 500, maybe Monaco, which is about to end with Red Bull and Sergio Perez winning, and then
Monaco's already over.
Yeah. Sure. And then it's the Coke 600.
Well, 500 should be dropping flag here shortly.
Yeah, something like that. Check us out Tuesday, Checkers and Wreckers. Check out all of our other partners here. You see scrolling at the bottom. And check out some of our other shows, Quantum Inspirations, On Before Us, State of Basketball, Super Kicking It with Steven. The Dukes of Football come back next week, Combat Zone, and everybody here at BW Sports. We thank you. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all those who are serving and served. And we will see you next week for another episode of Just a Bit Outside.